Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight, the Free National Movement ratifies 4 candidates in the run-up to the next general election. But first,
the Deputy Prime Minister weighs in on those concerns surrounding the Chinese citizenship rumors. That story straight ahead on our news.
Long lines at the Parliamentary Registration Department. That and more tonight on our news.
F&M MP Loretta Butler Turner weighs in on a DNA coalition. That story straight ahead.
Police on the hunt for the suspect responsible for a triple shooting. Welcome to our news. I'm Christina McNeil. Thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight, Prime Minister Perry Christie and Deputy Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis are dispelling rumors that the Bahamas government has agreed to grant Bahamian citizenship to hundreds of Chinese investors in connection with the stalled Bahamar project. Simone Davis has the details.
Davis echoed the sentiments of Prime Minister Perry Christie, who recently dismissed those Chinese citizenship rumors after claims surfaced that the government plans to sell or grant citizenship to about 500 Chinese investors in exchange for restarting the stalled resort. Many called for the government to address those rumors and reveal details of the negotiation process with Chinese officials. Well, Christie issued a statement last night and dismissed those widespread rumors as an absolute lie. Christie also said he finds the very idea of citizenship for sale to be distasteful, and it will never happen on his watch. Christie referred to the Bahamas Nationality Act, stating that the grant of Bahamian citizenship is subject to strict eligibility requirements and qualifications. While speaking with reporters outside Cabinet today, Davis agreed with Christie.
This is not a negotiable issue. The laws, we are ruled, this country is subscribed to the rule of law. The rule of law trumps anything that I may be able to negotiate. If I negotiate, I have to negotiate within the realm of the rule of law. The law sets out how a person could acquire citizenship. So one has to ask himself, why would this be a concern?
The DPM also noted that he was unaware of any requests made by the Chinese government for citizenship.
If I'm an investor and I'm going into a country to invest, I will decide what is best for my investment. All right? I will make demands, not demands, I would make requests of the authorities and say, look, this is what I would wish to have the program, my project to proceed. We could look at those, what they request, and then indicate to them, well, this could happen, this can't happen, this could happen, this can't happen. And we could also point out what the law says about each of those requests.
Davis suggested the citizenship concerns were raised to cause trouble.
We cannot break the law. And so I think it is just basically a political mischief to raise this as a concern.
Davis said Christie is expected to speak more on this issue in Parliament tomorrow. Reporting for our news, I'm Simone Davis.
Thanks, Simone. Meanwhile, opposition leader Dr. Hubert Minnis has questioned the government's method of trying to obtain votes in the upcoming gender equality referendum. In an interview with the Nassau Guardian on Monday, Minnis claimed that the Christie administration is shoving the yes vote down people's throats. Well, Education Minister Jerome Fitzgerald today responded to those claims, stating that those comments prove that no matter what the government does, there will always be someone opposing it.
Well, first of all, I don't think we're shoving anything down the Bahamian people's throat. In fact, as you know, this has been a process of about 2 years, actually. And before now, everyone was saying we're not bringing it quick enough. And why don't we bring it? And now we're bringing it. Now they're saying we're shoving it down people's throat, which is kind of ironic. But, you know, as politicians, we've come to expect that kind of thing. No matter what you say or do, there's going to be those who oppose it.
Fitzgerald also addressed concerns surrounding same-sex marriage.
At the end of the day, this is a very important step in the maturity of our democracy. And really, it's a simple issue of bringing equal rights to men and women. I mean, all this issue about same-sex marriage and the gay agenda, it's not on the ballot for question. As I said, I don't support same-sex marriage. You know, Leslie Miller doesn't. You know, no one at the end of the day from the PLP will move forward with any piece of legislation or amendment that supports same-sex marriage. I mean, it's just as simple as that.
While While urging Bahamians to vote yes, Fitzgerald says the truth will always be the truth, and critics can't change that with their opinion.
Legally, there's no issue whatsoever, and I am just so surprised to a certain extent that this has become involved and it's become so emotive, and it actually has nothing to do with it, and so everybody could have their opinion on it, but at the end of the day, you know, the facts are the facts. You can't have an opinion on the facts.
Well, with the gender equality referendum quickly approaching, Bahamians are racing to register before it's too late. The voter register temporarily closes tomorrow in advance of the June 7th vote. Our Giorgio Bain visited the Parliamentary Registration Department and filed this report.
With tomorrow being the last day to get registered for the upcoming gender equality referendum on June 7th, scores of persons have ascended to the Parliamentary Registration Department to make sure that their voices can be heard. There were long lines at the Parliamentary Registration Department and its Town Center Mall Registration Center today as Bahamians registered to participate in the upcoming gender equality vote. Parliamentary Commissioner Sherlyn Hall says it's not surprising that Bahamians waited until the last minute.
Some people just like the excitement. They like to wait for the last minute, and hence they decided to let me get on board before the 25th.
Hall says they have seen a small increase in the number of new voters, but noted that they are still waiting numbers from the Family Islands.
Presently, we have 179,829 as of yesterday. There are people who are keyed into the computer system. There are a lot of cards which still has to be keyed in. So that figure would be up to 180,000 thereabouts. But we still waiting stuff to come from the Family Islands, of course. And we will continue this process until end of working day tomorrow.
Those who have registered for the 2012 general elections do not have to register again to vote.
The instruction is to put one X. I think everybody knows what an X means. Not your signature, not your initial, or nothing. One X next to the right of the name and symbol, the word yes, if you intend to vote yes, and one X to the right of the word no and symbol if you intend to vote no. Do not write your name on the ballot. If you do, your ballot will be spoiled.
Our news spoke with a few first-time voters.
I feel that it's important in giving women equal rights to men, and that if you don't vote, the country is just like regressive if you don't vote.
Well, there was a bit of confusion. I didn't really know where we were supposed to go at first. I told my mom that we should probably go to Farrington Road because I knew that was the headquarters. But we got here. Obviously there's a line, but it's what you have to do. I kind of feel like it's my duty as a citizen. It'd be my first time, leaning towards the yes side of the vote, and looking forward to seeing how it's going to turn out.
Reporting for our news, I'm Giorgio Bain.
Thanks, Giorgio. In other news, former Free National Movement Deputy Leader Loretta Butler Turner is blasting the suggestion that the FNM should form a coalition with the Democratic National Alliance. Butler Turner says the DNA would bring nothing to the table for the FNM, but she says she's not ruling out the possibility that McCartney himself would be an asset. Jasmine Brown has her candid comments in this report.
Butler Turner says she'd much rather join forces with McCartney and not the DNA, as she insists McCartney's personal brand far outweighs the party's brand. The Member of Parliament for Long Island says although she does not see the need for a coalition, she believes the DNA leader may want to consider rejoining the FNM.
If he were to rejoin forces with the FNM, I am sure that it would mean that we would prevail at the next election as a group, and all of us will be able to make a difference in changing the direction of this country.
Earlier this month, McCartney said a coalition between the two parties would be a nightmare for the Progressive Liberal Party. However, Butler Turner asserted it would make little to no sense for the official opposition to join forces with the DNA, as she doesn't understand how the FNM would benefit from it.
Unfortunately, as the leader, if he couldn't win his own seat, then why are we going to sit to the table to discuss a coalition which is not going to yield any additions to the FNM at this point?
Butler Turner says at this point the FNM needs to look at joining forces with all opposition parties.
I think that at the end of the day, it's going to take the strength of all opposition forces to dethrone this government, which has proven to be a total disaster.
Meantime, a leader of the opposition, Dr. Hubert Minnis, along with other prominent FNMs, have expressed that they were open to discuss the possibility of a coalition, although Minnis said he wasn't quite sure how it would work. Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Thanks, Jasmine. Still to come, the FNM ratifies 4 new candidates, plus police need your help in finding the suspects responsible for 3 shootings last evening. Stay with us.